every week in practice, you guys break yourself down in ACC champs. Now that you can't win that, what's the focus?
The focus is getting win number 9, and we'll do that by our preparation, and it doesn't change. We were aware of what happened and how it was the control was out of our hands, and we needed some help. And Virginia Tech played pretty well, but weren't able to get it done. So now we're just focused on getting win number 9, getting to a good bowl game, probably the best bowl game we've been to here, while I've been here, and me and Daryl have been here. So we're excited about it, and we're ready to play Miami.
Has it hit you that Saturday would be your last game at Heinz Field?
A little bit. I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotions going on, but kind of a bittersweet feeling. It's obviously bitter because it's the last football game I'll play in at Heinz Field, but at the same time it'll be sweet because I know that I put everything I had into it, and especially my senior year. And I know Daryl and the rest of the captains and the rest of the seniors were proud to say that this has been the best year that we've had since we've been here, going for a 9-win season.
Do you feel that the bond between you and the other fifth-year guys is maybe a little stronger than average just because everything you've been through since your time here?
No, I mean it's the way it works. College football, coaches are going to come and go. We've picked up a little bit from everyone and continue to get better because of it. And I wouldn't say that, I'm not going to get into one coach is better than the other coach, and we're better for each coach, and each coach had a respective reason to be here, and they were, helped us along the way.
Artie, that being said, what has Coach Narduzzi brought to this program that has sort of enabled you guys to take that next step that you guys have just seen him miss out on the last few years?
In my opinion, it's his fire and his passion. If you just look at the way, from as an offensive lineman, I don't know a whole lot about our defense, but just from talking to the guys, they try to emulate their head coach or their defensive coordinator, which, and obviously he's not the D coordinator, but he has a lot of influence on the defense. And, when Coach Narduzzi runs around and has passion and fire and energy, that reflects in how we play on defense and on offense. But, especially when he's coaching them up on the sideline at the games, I think that helps a lot.
You guys gave yourselves a pretty tough act to follow on senior day with the way you guys played offensively against Louisville. Do you guys sort of want to prove, I guess, what you guys can do against what looked like a pretty good run defense going into that game?
Yeah, sure. And then they had some. You try not to let media, get to you, but someone showed me an article that there was a mismatch between me and the guy I was playing, and in there, so I had a little something to prove. And everyone has their own little personal story to go along with it, and then ultimately you just have to come together. And we knew that they're a good team, and we knew that we were going to be able to do what we wanted to do as long as we executed, and we were able to do that the first half at least.
Artie, what sort of pride is there? You touched on it earlier, but leaving this program pretty objectively in a better place than where you came in 5 years ago.
Well, there's a lot of pride with that. That there's coach is trying to build something here, and I don't see why they can't continue to get better and better every single year. And to say that I was a part of it, it's a pretty good feeling.
What have you tried to instill with the underclassmen? What your message has been to them over years?
Well, I tell the younger offensive linemen all the time that you don't have to be the biggest, fastest, strongest guy on the field. If you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, and then you know what you're good at, and that's the case for me. And I knew that if I was going to play and I was going to excel, it was going to be because I was going to outsmart people, and I was going to know what they were doing before they knew what they were doing. And that all just comes from preparation and watching tape. So if guys can continue to do that, along with the physical attributes of what our offensive linemen have and a lot of the guys on our team have, they'll be pretty good.
On that offensive line, how scary is it that those guys will be better next year?
They're going to be, they're only going to get better. That's for sure. There's it's a lot of guys will leave and say, it's just kind of a thing where you leave and say, oh, I don't know about, next year. You guys will have a lot of question marks. There's no question marks. Alex played center last year, and I don't know what Coach Pete's going to do with the lineup, but I haven't talked to him about it, but there's no holes, you know, and they're, at this point they just have to work on depth.
Artie's playing Miami, kind of like playing Notre Dame, and they still have that stigma, the national reputation and their history.
Well, you know, maybe not necessarily this year. You know, they have a kind of a different story going on down there, but I will say that they are kind of wounded, but they're playing with something to prove. You know, there's no way that they've thrown the towel in already. You could just tell by the way they play. They play tough, they play fast, play hard. You know, and I don't know, I'm not in their locker room, so I don't know their motto, but you could tell they're playing with something to prove.
And sometimes you guys say you don't look at the numbers or the achievements or anything. Does that feel good for you guys to produce a 1,000-yard rusher and it's just his name's not even James Conner this year?
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was exciting. I didn't know it happened until afterwards in the locker room, and he told us and came around and thanked us. So that was pretty cool. It was fun to be a part of.